John Eastman, this lawyer working for Trump on this plot, ended up being the sort of through line of today's entire hearing. But it revealed one very clear thing that I'm not sure was ever clear before today, with all of the investigations that we've seen, all of the public-facing reporting on this. We finally got the connection between the illegality of their plot and the fact that there was violence. A big portion of the hearing today was about how John Eastman, Trump's lawyer on this issue, actually knew and admitted that this plot he and the president were pursuing was illegal, violated federal law. That has all sorts of implications, even if you don't care much about this guy, John Eastman, and we'll get to all of that over the course of this evening. But importantly, I think the main point of what this hearing showed today that we did not previously have evidence of is that it was a really quick hop for these guys, from them pursuing a strategy they knew was illegal to the violence that we saw in the Capitol attack and to the violence that was threatened against Mike Pence himself. Here is how that connection worked as the investigators and the witnesses laid it out today.
Even Dr. Eastman knew his theory didn't hold water. Mr. Jacob, you discussed and even debated this theory at length with Dr. Eastman. Did Dr. Eastman ever tell you what he thought the U.S. Supreme Court would do if it had to decide this issue?
Yes. We had an extended discussion, an hour and a half to 2 hours on January 5th. And when I pressed him on the point, I said, John, if the vice president did what you were asking him to do, we would lose 9-0 in the Supreme Court, wouldn't we? And he initially started it, well, I think maybe you would lose only 7-2. And after some further discussion, acknowledged, well, yeah, you're right, we would lose 9-0.
So the president's lawyer, John Eastman, acknowledges that the plot he and President Trump are suggesting is against the law if these actions, supported by his legal theories, were ever reviewed by the Supreme Court. He acknowledges they would lose 9-0 at the Supreme Court. Unconstitutional, illegal, and he knows that. But the crucial point we learned today for the first time is that these guys did not necessarily see that as a problem, because the Trump lawyer, John Eastman, said he believed it didn't matter that the court would strike it down 9-0 if this ever came before them. This is never going to come before them, or at least they would never agree to review it. So John Eastman contended they could just pull off this plot. They could just do it, even though it was against the law, because the Supreme Court would never stop them. These conversations happened in the presence of the president himself. The implication of that is that President Trump himself knew that the plan was to try to pull off an illegal plot in the expectation that the Supreme Court would let them do it.